So, of course, everybody's buzzing right now about the release of the Jordan 1 85 Bred, a special release celebrating Jordan Brand's 40th anniversary since that sneaker originally hit us back in 1985. So that pair is going to be dropping coming up next month. January usually starts off really slow in sneakers and then things start to pick up. So as far as next month releases, we got a whole bunch of great pairs dropping, including them 85 highs. But there is this one particular release that seems to be going under the radar. I'm not sure if they've been pushed back or something like that, but nobody seems to be talking about this sneaker, which you just had to be around to understand the significance when this sneaker originally released. This is one of the craziest sneaker drops of all time. So today we're going to be taking a look down memory lane as discussing what this sneaker actually means to us here in 2025. So you're watching John Alexander TV. Salute to you for tuning in. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so here we go. We got the Nike Foamposite 1 Galaxy, which apparently this one was scheduled to drop sometime in February, but I'm not sure, as I said, if this joint has been pushed back or something like that. But for some reason, this pair is flying under the radar. It feels like nobody's really talking about this sneaker, which kind of blows my mind, because once we originally heard about this sneaker, I felt like this is going to be one of like the biggest legacy drops of the year. Now, you may be looking at this shoe right here and be like, yo, what is the hype all about? I mean, we know what Foamposites are about, but as far as this Galaxy colorway, some people may say these joints are like looking crazy. They might say these are looking childish, but as far as this pair right here, we got to take it all the way back to 2012 when this sneaker originally released, which I'm not even gonna lie, even back then, you know, I wasn't really sure what all the hype was about, but apparently this was a release, one for the ages, one that was absolutely wild. So if you think back to that time, you know, this is after the Nike Air Yeezy 1 had dropped. 2012 was also after the Concord 11s had dropped as well. So it was an interesting time in shoes. You know, we were starting to see some of these like really hype releases start to take off, which would catch nationwide attention. So of course, some of these releases would be featured on the news. So I was actually able to dig up some old footage, you know, from the actual release right here. So as y'all see, this is actually here in Florida. So you see everybody going crazy right here, trying to grab this coveted item, which at the end of the day, I mean, it's a Foamposite, but I feel like it was really all about the hype, you know, the limited factor, the resale value, because even back then, this shoe was making headlines for reselling for notorious amounts. Like, you don't even know, bro. Like, can you imagine back then this shoe retailed probably for like $200 or something like that? But people, there was headlines of people like listing these on eBay for like 10 grand. I even remember there was even a listing on Craigslist or something like that. Somebody trying to trade or willing to trade his car. It was like a Honda or something like that for these Foamposites. So people were just like losing their mind about Foamposites. So for me, I mean, I was young. I wasn't really even trying to stress about this release right here. For me, I was just like in my Jordan retro bag at the time. So to really understand the significance of Foamposites, you kind of got to even take things back further, which the Foamposite originally debuted back in '97, which I believe it was a signature sneaker for Penny Hardaway at the time. So you guys know Penny Hardaway was buzzing back then in the 90s. He had the little duo with Shaq. They were going crazy down there in Orlando. So as far as the OG pair, I want to say it was this Royal colorway right here. This was just a great sneaker. I guess the technology was the latest that Nike was offering, but I think, you know, besides the Penny cosign, I think one of the biggest appeals and the draw towards the Nike Foamposite at the time was its, you know, crazy retail price point, because I think these were retailing for like $200. It might have been like 190, 180, but back in 97, that was crazy, because think about it. The Jordan 11, which had just dropped the year prior, which was like the hottest shoe on the market. For me as a kid, I felt like the Jordan 11 was like the coolest sneaker ever. Jordan 11s retailed for like maybe like $125 or something back then. So for Nike to come with this new model with this crazy like Foamposite material, I don't even know what they call it, and then charging you guys like 180, $200, it was like a real status symbol. It was a real flex. So this was like one of them early dope boy shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like to let people know that you were having money like that. So I think that was the big draw as far as the Foamposites. The original colorways which released are iconic still to this date. The copper, the black pair, you got the eggplant, metallic red. Now, I'm gonna be real, I'm not really sure if all of these were OG colorways, but these are some of the re-releases that we've seen. They even had the Foamposite Pro, which you guys see right here, featured the Nike swoosh there, those were cool as well. So our foam posits were a go. The early colorways, they were just keeping things real simple, you know, black, blue, red, copper. They were keeping things simple, but then, you know, I'm not sure of the whole history of foam posits and everything like that, but in like the 2010s, that's where we started to get these like crazy, like Weatherman, all them funky colorways, man. The ones that, I'm gonna be real, like I wasn't really feeling them like that. I've never actually owned a pair of foam posits, actually, believe it or not. So we were getting these crazy type of colorways. Let me see if I could find one of these right here. Cause man, they were disgusting, bro. Like, for example, this is one of the ones I'm talking about right here. Like, you might have a lot of love for these. You might have some nostalgia for these joints right here, but let's just keep it a buck, bruh. These joints ain't it, man. These joints is looking nasty right now, which, you know, a lot of us had some questionable fashion choices back in the day, but you guys see what I'm saying. They were getting real funky with the colorways. I wish I could find that Weatherman joint. I'm sure y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, man. But yeah, here's another one right here. So yeah, they was going too crazy with these colors, but then they popped out with these galaxies right here. And of course they were in line with all of the funky, weird colors, but for some reason, I don't know if it was just the limited factor or what the hype was behind this, but the stories were crazy. People were going absolutely nuts for this sneaker. So for the fact that Nike is bringing these out the vault, when we first heard about it, you know, people remember what times were like back then. So I thought it would be interesting to kind of go back to the comment section on some of these older videos, because this one right here, this Foamposite release, this dude actually recorded this 12 years ago. So that's kind of crazy, right? So I guess this was like, what, this must be like an NYC release or something like that, where it looks like everybody was lined up respectfully, but I just want to kind of see what the comments were saying, because there's literally only 2,000 views on this video. Somebody put, I didn't think they were going to be doing it there. Too classy, LOL, good shit, B. Glad you got him. Wow, good for you, bro. At least someone got him. Damn, bro, you lucky. Can't wait to see that review. Wristbands only, I like that. I wish they came up here. Good shit, homie. See, the reason that people are shocked about the wristbands is because back then they didn't have like sneaker lineup procedures. This is back when people used to just go crazy, camp out. They had to start developing these systems for releases like this. So I'm sure you've heard of stories of like the Concord 11s, people like breaking the glass, getting shot over them, all kind of stuff. So that's why they had to implement these wristband systems into place. Somebody put, where was this at? I thought Nike stopped all the releases. Are you gonna wear your pair or sell it? That's a great question. I ain't gonna lie. If I would have grabbed a pair back in the day, there's no way I would have worn them. They were just like too valuable. You just had to flip them, bro. Like, people was willing to pay, what, like 3, 4. Remember, I was saying there was listings. I'm not even lying to y'all. People were listing these on eBay for like 10,000 plus. So you just had to be around. And the fact that Nike's bringing these back kind of was a shocker to me at first, but it's just kind of crazy, man. It feels like nobody's really talking about these joints at all. And apparently the release is right around the corner. So I don't know if these have just been pushed back or if everybody's just stuck on these 85 highs, the price point, the controversy about them being that limited. But can y'all believe it? Galaxy Foamposites are making a return. Now, for me, I really have no interest in this pair at all, but of course I'm tuned in to see what the streets are reacting to, what people think about them. As far as the Foamposites, it felt like they kind of went away for a little bit, but over the last like 2-3 years, we've seen Nike, you know, slowly begin to bring them back. As far as the colorways that they've been bringing back so far, it seems like they've been kind of just keeping it OG, you know, like the blue, the copper, you know, the clean, simple pairs, and none of them like ugly Weatherman joints or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So as far as the Foamposites, I mentioned, you know, they were one of those shoes that represented that you were having. They were kind of like one of them early dope boy sneakers with that high retail price point. You could put those in line with iconic Nike releases like the Air Max 95s, which again, back in that day were one of those shoes that, you know, showed that you had some bread or whatever. Same with any Jordan retros or OG Jordans that were dropping back in the day, because think about it, Jordans retailing at $100 while other shoes were coming in for like $60, $70. It was definitely a statement, and you know, it pushed the boundary as far as, you know, what Nike could push on us as far as retail prices. And now here in 2025, we got the Jordan 1 retailing at $250. So speaking of Foamposites, looks like we got some images here on the back end where we have the upcoming Flightposite 1 Black. Now, I don't know if this is a pair that dropped back in the day. My guess would be that they did drop a black pair of Flightposites, but this was, I guess, the follow-up to the Foamposite. You could call it the big brother, more of a sleek sleek design, but I feel like these have aged pretty well over time. They look really cool. People were going crazy over them Green Goblin joints or whatever. So I think this is a good one. Not mad at all to see these come back. As far as the all black color scheme, I think it works very well. It's a sleek design. I think it goes perfectly with this silhouette. So this is a cool one. Am I gonna be forking out whatever Nike's asking for, probably $250 plus for these? Probably not, but again, I just always like to see how people react when these older pairs come back. Remember last year we seen stuff, legacy pairs, such as like the Wu-Tang Dunks. We had legacy releases such as the Stash Air Force Ones, the Stash 95s, Nigo dropping Air Force 3s and all that good stuff. So as far as February releases, maybe people aren't talking about these Foamposites because of the stacked lineup. It's NBA All-Star Weekend. Of course, we got the Black Metallic Reimagines. You gotta love those right there. My favorite release of the month. You got the Kobe 6 All-Stars. Anytime Kobe's dropping some shoes, people are going nuts for Kobe's still. And of course you got the Bred 185s, which the big talk about these was the price tag, but now that we found out that they're so limited, it seems like nobody really cares about the price tag. So Foamposites, they were pushing like 200 back in the day. Now I think Foamposites retail for what, like 240, 250, and we got Jordan 1 highs coming in at 250. So that's wild. And then you got the Black Toe Reimagines to round out the month. Now, as far as February releases, I feel like these are the biggest ones that are, you know, gaining the most attention, but we also have some other low-key releases as well. Starting off February 1st, we got the Jordan 3 Women's Valentine's Day. Now, as far as this pair right here, I'm sorry, y'all, these joints are trash. The shade of pink on here is hideous, but we always do have these Valentine's Day theme releases, so I guess this one should be a cool little release for the moment, but a pair I feel like they will come and go and be forgettable when looking back at Valentine's Day releases. So these are going to be dropping on the first retail of $215. Whew. Is that a price increase, bruh? Am I tripping? How much the Jordan 3s go for nowadays? I don't care, but I'm sorry, these joints ain't it. Maybe for the ladies or something like that, which I'm guessing, oh yeah, they are a women's exclusive drop. They shouldn't drop these in extended sizes because that would just be a waste of material. So we got those. And then speaking of Jordan 3s, now this 3, these ones are nice right here. So we got the Lucky Shorts. Now I think early pairs are already starting to begin to surface. By the way, do not pay resale for early pairs because when these drop, hopefully you should be able to get your hands on these now. The storytelling on this one's really good. We've talked about these a whole bunch of times, but I just want to say it again. This is a great non-OG Jordan retro release, and these are going to be finishing off the month. I think the 22nd is the release date, unless they decide to push them back or something like that. Yeah, 22nd. Now these say 200, so how can these be 215? It must be a typo or something like that. Gotta be a typo. So yeah, these are nice. We got UNC 3s previously. Personally, I think these are a little bit better. They don't even have the elephant print. I'm still rocking with them. So yeah, these got a classic look. These look like an OG that would have came out back in the day. So I'm not mad at these at all. So February is going to be a big month. January started off a little bit slow. We had the Black Cat 3s. Some people were catching up on some releases from last year, but yeah, Jordan Brand still got everybody in the chokehold. Nike still got everybody in the chokehold. There was so much talk about, you know, Nike falling off and everything last year, but let's keep it a buck, man. People ain't stopped rocking Jordans. They're gonna keep rocking them. The cycle continues. So enough rambling from me. As always, I would rather hear what you guys think. So comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about this one down below. I'm JA. I'll catch y'all next time. Oh yeah, make sure y'all smash the like button. Salute.